Hey friends, welcome to Social Responsibility 101, featuring the tool that we leverage, which is charitable gifting of real estate. So let's share the screen and we will get right into our presentation. So charitable gifting of real estate is the biggest, baddest, boldest form of social responsibility. This is how we can fund causes in communities and careers and companies. And the fact is, our communities need us. What we're showing you here are just a cross section. Friends, there are 1.5 million nonprofits in this country, and everything from animals and veterans to children to universities to churches, they are all struggling for funding. They all need money. And the consumers, customers, and clients in this country want the companies that they're working with to be socially responsible. One of our favorite, most well-known quotes, social responsibility isn't just the right thing to do, it is the necessary thing to do in business. So just want to share a little bit of the story of how we all got here and why social responsibility is purposeful and profitable. So my red suit, the very first real suit that I had, this is way back when I was probably, oh gosh, this was 22 or so years ago, this photo. I was a newly sober, single mother, and I needed something. I needed to fix myself, frankly. And I called an ad in a newspaper and I became the listing coordinator for an agent that did 125 deals a year. It was such a blessing. For a year and a half, I learned, I did 15 listing packets a week, which is a lot. If you're a real estate agent, you know that. So I was basically a listing agent without going out on the appointments. So I learned from the best. And one of the reasons that I wanted to become a real estate agent, as I had learned from this agent for a year and a half, I learned that I could have a flexible schedule and I could come and go, and I could go with my daughter on her field trips, which is this last picture. So I was able to bring my daughter with me to fundraisers, take her on showings, and be at her field trips. That's why real estate was so important to me. It helped me to be a better mother. And as time went on, I worked for just about every real estate brand you can think of. Remax just happened to be the very first one. I loved bringing the hot air balloon and doing things with it. It was a great way to promote myself and my business and get out and meet and mingle with people. This one was at the Boys and Girls Club. We did events at schools. It was just a really great way to do PR. I was with Century 21 for a while. We did a show called The Real Estate Roadshow. And here's what happened. When I became an HGTV House Hunter veteran and was really getting out there, I was able to acquire my dream car, which was a 64.5 Mustang convertible. And I share these photos with you. As you can see, I'm wearing something different. These are different car shows for 7 years in a row. We did them at the same place. And we were giving money to the local nonprofits. And when I would go to networking events and there were 10 other realtors in the room, I never stood up and talked about real estate. I talked about the car show and how we were looking for business to sponsor it, and people that wanted to bring their cars, and people who love cars. And most importantly, looking for people who wanted to support the Live and Let Live farm and rescue those horses, or veterans or children with cancer, whatever the cause was. And so I learned about me or real estate or Remax. They loved that we were being socially responsible. So over time, I started teaching other people how to do it. I was hired by the president of this board of realtors to be her personal mentor in teaching social responsibility. In this particular drive, we raised 8,000 diapers for a halfway home for women who are coming off opioids and having babies and they needed diapers. This was a drive that we did gathering up items for Christmas with this woman. She was my Botox doctor at the time. She hired me to do that. This was when I spoke for a real estate investor association group in Jacksonville. And I told them I will only fly down and do a speaking engagement if you incorporate Realtors for Recovery. And this was about an event with about addiction. Coat drives, obviously in Boston, need a lot of coats. We did things for animal rescue shelters. This was a poker run that was also for addiction and veterans. We did stuff at Hero Box to send things to our enlisted people overseas. And the reason I'm sharing all this with you is to say, for years and years, before I even learned about charitable gifting of real estate, I was already practicing social responsibility campaigns, bringing for-profit and nonprofit together to make money, making a difference. And as you can see, usually it was around a fundraiser or some kind of thing that took 30 days, 3 months, 6 months to prepare, to put together. So when I learned about charitable gifting of real estate, I said, holy cow. Instead of just doing a raffle or trying to raise $500 or $10,000 or $50,000, we can actually make a big difference leveraging real estate. So this is what we're doing now. We're going all over the country in the RV. We've created List the Legacy Listing Month. That's in April. The book Real Estate is Hot, Fundraising is Not has come out. All of that experience, real estate, nonprofit, social responsibility has led up to what we're doing today. So here's some numbers for you. Nonprofits, now this works all over the country. You're going to be seeing this video from anywhere in the country. We happen to be planting our flag in Florida because in Florida, there are 1.5 million nonprofits in the country. 10% of them are in Florida. And just to give you some numbers, overall in the United States, there are 499 nonprofits per county in this country that need your help. They all need funding. And I'm just throwing up some numbers here. These are some communities that we work in that have 8,000 nonprofits, 10,000 nonprofits. Orlando has over 11,000 nonprofits. And if you look at the reference number there, you can go and find for your county how many are in your county. And we share this to say that social responsibility is a big deal. The nonprofits need us, and check this out. Customers, clients, and consumers have spoken. They want to do business with businesses and service providers and products that are on purpose. So look at these numbers. 92% of people say that they want to work with companies that are supporting social or environmental issues. 70% of them believe that companies should be taking action. 88% when a company supports a social or environmental issue say that they're more loyal. 71% of millennials won't even work with you, won't work for you either. if you're not socially responsible. Friends, the numbers work. This last number of 87%, you'll hear us say all the time because it's just cut and dry. 87% of consumers, customers, and clients have been polled 1,000 times. 87% of people will choose you when you are on purpose. Social responsibility. This is not just about realtors and nonprofits, financial advisors, title companies, attorneys, dog walkers, network marketers, anybody and everybody. If you're in business, you can put money in your pocket to put money in the pocket of the nonprofit that you love. We have the ability to help all of them. You don't have to pick 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 nonprofits. You can help hundreds, thousands with the biggest, baddest, boldest social responsibility campaigns ever. Now, what if your business could stand for all nonprofits in your marketplace? What if your business could make money, making a difference, not take money out of your pocket and sponsor an event by giving them $1,000 or $50,000? That's all well and good, and sponsorship is nice. But what if those companies, what if we shifted our language and our actions just a little bit so that the companies could actually make money by being a part of an awareness campaign, letting people know about charitable gifting of real estate? What would these nonprofits that you love do with $550,000, which this number's actually now gone to $600,000? And the reason we say that number is because that is the average amount from one piece of real estate. Our book talks all about not just what is charitable gifting of real estate, but the 5 keys to leverage real estate for real change. Key number 1 is to learn what it is. Key number 2 is to lead generate. We go through all of it in the book. At the very least, you need to get the book. It is the Bible for how social responsibility works in this realm. Now, here's a simple case study. Berkeley Humane Society. Gentleman came to the table in December of last year, said, I need a tax deduction. And from December 15th, when he met our team, to December 25th, and that short period of time, that team took possession of the real estate, giving him the tax advantages he needed for that year. And then when it closed in April, it produced over $400,000 for that nonprofit. This is how it works. That nonprofit said, what? We had no idea we could benefit from real estate. We have no idea how this works, but we're going to tell our donors and see if there's any more. So they said to their donors, we have no idea how this works. Don't even ask us. But if you have real estate or know anyone, we can benefit from it. Donation number 2, 55 and older community building, house. The donor said she's never going to live there. She donated it just in August. $646,000 went to that nonprofit. 1 nonprofit, 2 donations, 6 months, over $1 million. That is being socially responsible. And when we can promote that, when your business is part of letting people know about this, imagine the clients and customers that you will attract. $9 billion a year is donated nonprofits from gifts of real estate at that average amount of $550,000. This is what it looks like. These are not gas stations out in the middle of nowhere. These are beautiful properties. It can be any kind of property, raw land, residential, commercial. See the date on this? 2022, on the market right now. Now, a little bit less than a half of a percent of nonprofits will take real estate. We're showing them to you right now. 99.9% of nonprofits cannot, will not take real estate. These are some that do, and we're showing them to you because we want you to know it's happening. Your donors, if you're a nonprofit, are on other donor lists. Your clients are on donor lists. And Cars for Kids is one we use as an example. Cars for Kids now takes real estate. And if the donor Googles how to donate real estate and they find Cars for Kids or any one of these, they can donate and get their tax deduction. But here's the trick. They cannot decide who's going to get the funding. Cars for Kids is keeping the funding, the giving block. Maybe some of them have 3 or 4 nonprofits you can choose from. But if you want your church, if you want your community, if you want your homeless shelter to get the money, you can't do it this way. You can't give it to them. Now, these on this slide have received donations of real estate the way that we do it. Now, Girl Scouts, Habitat for Humanity, Fidelity Charitables is the largest nonprofit in this country, and even they use the team that we use. Universities, public radio. The point is, gifts of real estate are happening. Which causes and communities will be added to this list of nonprofits that are benefiting from real estate? What companies are going to show up as socially responsible? Well, that's up to you. That's up to us. Social responsibility is how you attract 87% of your marketplace. Friends, this couple gave $129 million of real estate to a community foundation just last year. These are the kinds of people that are doing this. We're just wanting to prove to you that just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening all around us. Now, here is what the nonprofits need to know. Charitable gifts of real estate, the way that we do it, are risk-free, zero money out of pocket, easy. You don't have to change gift acceptance policies. You never take title. Any and all nonprofits can benefit from this funding, period. We have classes on how this works. Please feel free to watch the other Realtor 101, the Nonprofit 101, the Donor 101. This is more about just giving you an overview of the social responsibility aspect. Here is what for-profit businesses need to know. 87% of your marketplace will work with you over the competition when you are being socially responsible. Social responsibility campaigns, that's how you win them over. And instead of thinking, well, gosh, which nonprofit should I support? Who would my community? Do they want me to support veterans? Would they rather that I help animals? Why don't you just support all of them? By bringing awareness that charitable gifting of real estate is possible for all churches, all veteran groups, all universities, all of them. So friends, here's what's next. Turn the first key. Learn what charitable gifting of real estate is. We have a master class. Currently, it's free. Turn that first key and learn what charitable gifting of real estate is, because until you know what it is, we can't get to the second key, which is lead generation with social responsibility. So these are just a few links that we want to give you to do your own due diligence. Feel free to take a snapshot of this. The FAQs, masterful. Questions that you haven't even thought of are answered there. The donations link, there are 10 examples. Raw land, commercial, residential, who donated it, how much money, what nonprofit received it. Property evaluation link is what people go to see if their property qualifies. You can get the first chapter of our book for free at the chapter 1. You can join our Facebook group. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a message. Want to keep this really brief and short. Thank you for sitting in on social responsibility. The bottom line is people are learning about this all over the country. And if you want to make money, making a difference, if you want to make money because you're making a difference, if you want to make difference because your business is making money. That's what we are talking about. Look forward to seeing the master class very soon.